I am Barbara Carr, and I am with Fuse Marketing and Media. Today, we are training on blogging. All right, let me get it up for you guys. You guys, I did not do this very well, but that's okay. See how you learn as you go? All right, today's topic is blogging. Your trainer for today is Barbara Carr, the CEO of Fuse Empire, which is the parent company of Fuse Marketing and Media. We will start with what is a blog. Does anybody care to share what their thoughts are on what a blog is? And I can't see you guys right now, so if anyone has anything to say, you just please say it.
Isn't it kind of just you sharing some thoughts, some information, and you're just kind of talking about it?
Yes, that's a good suggestion of what a blog is. Anybody else?
Since we do so many community events, we keep a community blog. Mm-hmm. And so if it's businesses that support what we do or organizations that support what we do, mm-hmm. then we'll feature them. And we used to do it like twice a week, once for the business, once for the organization. So for instance, it might be like this dental office is supporting us. So we'll do a blog to promote them and support them. And then like the weekend, or let's say that Friday would be like a Feel Good Friday, we would do like Pets and Vets that supports post-traumatic stress in veterans, you know, training dogs for them, or like a community soup kitchen, things like that.
Right. Okay. So Marie, you were the first one who responded, right?
Mm-hmm.
Marie and Tim, thank you for your insight on that. You both are correct on what a blog is. A blog is a number of things, but both of you made it very clear that it is sharing and updating and letting people know what's going on, right? But a blog is a written form of those things. So I went to Oxford Dictionary to give you guys the definition of blogging in the dictionary. So as a noun, it is a regularly updated website or web page, typically one that is run by an individual or small group that is written in an informal or conversation style. And then as a verb, it is to add new material to or regularly update a blog. I see that I had a question in the chat. I can't see the chat when my thing is on slideshow. So if that was an actual question, can somebody just ask it?
They're actually for Tim, both of them.
Okay, all right, perfect. So that's okay. If you guys are communicating with each other in the chat, that's perfectly fine. But if you have a question for me, please just verbalize it, okay? Thank you, guys. All right, so as a noun, I want to go through this a little bit, like word for word kind of. As a noun, it says that it is regularly updated. Now, what regularly updated means could be different for you than it is for me, and it could be different for the next person too. We'll talk about what regularly updated might mean for you specifically in a few more slides forward, okay? It is a website or a web page. There are many different places that you can blog, and I'm going to share those with you here in a little bit as well. It is run by an individual or a group. So this could be a personal blog or a company blog, or a combination of both. It is written in informal or conversational style. So this is not a sales presentation. It's not necessarily a persuasive. It's just something that's informing someone or talking to, kind of like as if you're talking to them, what you would say. So it's very informal. It does not have to be written like you're turning it in for a grade. And that's one of the things that a lot of people, once they realize, they're more comfortable to blog, because most people think their blog has to be like written in like a college format, and it does not. So feel free to take a deep breath now and say, whoa, now I can blog, because it can just be me talking. And then as a verb, you guys, it is defined as to add, which means we are adding more. So we don't just put one blog out there and then be done with it. We have multiple posts, and it is new material. So to add new material, which means we post something different every time we post. Okay, I'm getting feedback from somebody, so if that's you, if you could mute yourself, or if you guys don't mind, maybe mute yourself unless you have a question. That could be helpful as well. So where can you blog? As I mentioned on the last slide, there are lots of different places that you can blog. And let's go over a couple of them. The most important place you could blog is your website. If you have a website, you should have a blog on there. If you have a blog on there, that should be the first place that you blog, because that is your stuff. Like, you own that, right? You own your website. Some of the other places I'm going to share that you can blog, you don't own those things. Even though you may own the right to your content, they can delete it at any time and they can go out of business at any time and you can lose that. So your website is the best place to blog at if you have that option. But don't fear, if you don't have a website or you don't have a blog, there are other options. Let me share those with you. The next one is on LinkedIn. So LinkedIn has an option to allow you to blog. And in a moment, I'm going to show you how to do that on my screen. And there's also a site called Blogger. I'm not going to show you that one, but just so you know, that is an option. That is a place that a lot of people blog. It's more of people who blog as their primary income. Like, people blog on here either as like personal blogs, or if that's actually what they're paid to do. It's not typically where most people put their business blogs, but it is an option if you're interested. And then the last place I'm going to share with you is WordPress. Now, there's a difference here, because your website, if you've built your website on WordPress, that's different than the WordPress I'm sharing with you now. The WordPress that your website is built on is built from WordPress.org, which is an installation process to be able to put your website on there. It's an open source application. The WordPress for your blog is WordPress.com, which is specifically a blogging site. So if your website was built on WordPress.com, that is not what I'm talking about when I say build it on WordPress. In fact, WordPress.com is specifically built for blogs. So the only thing that's going to get traction on your WordPress.com site is going to be your blogs, not the rest of your website. So keep that in mind. If you don't know how to tell the difference, or if you need help saying, hey, somebody built my site on WordPress for me, can you tell me if it was the right WordPress or if it was WordPress.com? Now, the same company, WordPress, owns both of these sites. They're utilized for two different things. I'd be happy to help you determine if you don't know what yours is built on. That is another good place to blog on if you don't have a website of your own. Okay, I've put these in order of what I think is probably the most promising. So starting with your own website is the best idea. LinkedIn is the second best idea, because it is a place where people go, businesses go looking for new information and new content. All right, so I'm going to save the LinkedIn part for the end when I'm finished with the, actually, no, let me do the LinkedIn for you now. I wrote it down, but I'm going to do it for you now. All right. All right, I'm going to come in here. So LinkedIn, let me go to LinkedIn. You guys can still see my screen, right?
Yes, we saw a picture of you and Isaac kissing.
Oh, that was my desktop then, huh? My love. All right, so I'm on LinkedIn now. And if I want to blog, so here's a few options. I could hit start a post, which would be just a regular post like what we do on Facebook. If I want to say, hey, here's the link to Zoom or something like that, just a regular post. But if I want to blog, I'm going to come right below here and click write an article. And if I click that, it's going to bring me to a brand new screen, which is my blog screen. Okay, so I could put a picture here. I could put my headline here. All my text goes in here. Okay, up here, I can change things if I want to bold something, if I want to put bullets, if I want to put a quote, an attachment, any of that stuff. And when I'm finished, I just click this publish button. When you do that, it not only goes out to everybody that you are connected with already, but it also goes out to people who might be interested in your topic based on other things that they've read. And you could get a lot of new followers this way because people, oh, hi baby, thank you. Because people are asking you, or people are looking for new content. And so while they're searching, if your blog comes up, on LinkedIn, people, if they like it, will follow you after that. So there's an option at the bottom of each blog to see who the author was and to connect with the author. This is a fantastic way to get new connections on LinkedIn that you may not have been able to get elsewhere. And these are people who may not even be connected with people that you are currently connected with. So it might be 4th, 5th, 6th level connections.
So Barbara, as you're going through these, could you also give us the etiquette on whether or not you use like hashtags or things like that to be able to have it searched?
Yeah, so hashtags are always okay to use in your blogs, but I would recommend putting them all the way at the bottom of your blog. So after your blog is done, you could hit the enter a couple of times, put in your hashtags, and then that's fine.
Barbara, can you go back? I'm on my LinkedIn with my tablet as I'm watching this. Go back to articles. So where's out there, where do you click for articles? On home?
Yep. So yeah, when you're on your home page, right where it says start a post, right underneath that there's write an article.
Oh, it was camouflaged by a pop-up I had here. Okay, got it. Thank you.
You are welcome. All right, so let me give you some examples of good blogs that are out there already. Okay, so of course I'm going to share with you my own blog because it's awesome. If you go to fusebusinesstraining.com and you go to the blog page, you'll notice that like with mine, there's the date, the picture, the title. Right here, it shares some of the tags that we have, the categories that are tagging it. These are similar to what people would use keywords or hashtags for. And then there is a short, like it starts the blog, but then it's ... read more. So somebody clicks on the read more button and it brings them to the whole blog. And in a moment, we're going to talk about the length of blogs and stuff. And you guys may notice, look at mission and vision, what's the difference? You may notice in the email that I showed you the other day, yesterday, that I was talking about vision, right? So a lot of my stuff connects to each other. So when I write the vision email, then it probably links to this blog, right? If for more information, check out my blog here. And so that's an example of a blog on a website. If I continue going down, so this is my blog page. Every one of these entries is a blog post. Okay, so as you continue going down, there's the different topics. And I want to show you the different looks of each of these, okay? So there was one example that you were able to see. Here is a good article on LinkedIn. So if you're going to blog on LinkedIn, this is a good article to check out when you're doing that. But let me move on to another one. Okay, you haven't updated. Yeah, so my Fuse business training, remember I told you I took a year off, and then when I restarted, I changed my businesses, and we have been focusing on the marketing and media company right now. Fuse business training, we're building an awesome program that that is launching again probably later this year, but we're not focused so much on this particular business because we don't want people asking to buy products and services from it right now. So we're focused on the marketing and media one right now. Tim had asked about why it wasn't updated since 2018. Yes, so that is the answer to that. Thank you for asking, Tim. As we continue to go forward, because keep in mind, you guys, when you're updating your stuff, people are getting notified of it. And we do still currently have customers for the Fuse business training. And if people come to us, we don't turn them away, but we don't market that business right now because it's not the one we're focused on for this year. We have a strategic plan to build each business one at a time for the next 5 years. And this one is Fuse Marketing and Media. All right. So CCSK Law, this is Isaac's blog and his company. He's not the only one who writes blogs, but you could tell which one from his company who has written it. Isaac's written a lot of the most recent ones because of everything going on now. Here's Aaron and RG, everything going on with all the business stuff. He's updated his blog a lot, but if you notice, like some of these have images that go with them and some don't. The reason why is these ones, for instance, have a video that go with them. So he didn't want to make an image out there because there's a video that goes with it. So you can embed video right in your blog. So you have the title, you have some words, you have a video, you have more words, and then down at the bottom, call to action, right? So at the bottom, even though your blog is not going to be salesy, it's okay to put a call to action at the end of the blog. A very short call to action. And in fact, do my blogs have, I don't remember if these particular ones have at the bottom the author. They don't. Okay, so on some of them I have an author box at the bottom to show who wrote it. Like if it were a guest author, and we'll talk about guest authors in a little bit, then it will show who wrote that blog on here. Let's see. So then the next one I want to bring you to, so if you noticed on my website, the blog page was titled blog. On Isaac's website, the blog page was titled our blog. On the next website I'm going to show you is Forage Seeds. Theirs is under articles. So sometimes you can't always just look for the word blog. It's something similar to blog on almost every website. So they've titled theirs articles. And if you look, again, they got a title. You'll notice that all of these looks are a little different, like the text, the font, right? The sizes, the imaging. And it's because of the theme that the person is using and also whatever their brand is, because you want to keep it to your brand. So you've got the title, you've got an image, you've got text. Right here you have a link, which means it will link you to something else. Right? See a lot of links in here that link to other things because these are statistics. So when our company does blogs for people, we do the research with the blog and we include statistics like this. Because what this does is now if I click on this article, for instance, that's connected my company to this news company, right? Like this Forage Seeds. Forage Seeds is not my company. They're one of my clients, but it connects them to this news company, which it's kind of like a third-party endorsement without this company endorsing you. It's super cool and super easy. And it also gives you credibility so that what you're saying, you have statistics to back it up. All right. And then it also shows that you're willing to support other people. So there's a lot of good reasoning behind doing research and having statistics and linking to other people. All right, so those are 3 examples of blogging on your actual website. Next, I want to show you some examples of blogging on LinkedIn. So when you blog on LinkedIn, you cannot blog as your company page. You have to blog as you as an individual, and then you can post it on your company page.
I have a question before
Yes.
you keep going. On that last one that you showed where you can go, and where it's highlighted with the writing and then it takes you to to that person's site. How do you do that with the writing versus where it has the web address? How do you do?
So it's just a matter of linking it. Actually, let me write down that and I'll share that at the end. How to
Okay.
in blog. I'm going to write that as a note and then at the end I'll come back to that for you guys. Let's see. All right, so then thank you for asking that, Marie. All right, so if I come here to LinkedIn, I'm going to show you a few options here as well. This company this is the big image. There are a couple ways that you can do images on LinkedIn, the featured image. Each blog has what's called a featured image, and that's one image that matches what you're talking about. So this one that we're looking at now is for a company called Clean Internet, and they help to protect families and employees and stuff from seeing websites that they shouldn't be seeing, either like kids because they're too young to see them or employees because they're supposed to be on the clock, right? So different things like that. And so this is the digital playground talking to your kids about cybersecurity. So this is a great article about parents and teachers being able to explain to children why cybersecurity is important. And it gives you tips. Again, here, the link, see how it's blue? That's a link that links to actual statistics. And then here, see how this is a header? So it's bolded, it stands out. And then you keep going down, and then at the bottom here, you'll see that it shows it was published by Dan Granquist, who's one of the owners of this company. And And so it shows all his information. He's a business and real estate attorney, and it shows all that. But then it allows you, so I'm already following him because of course he's a client of mine. You guys, this is a perk of being a client of mine. When I have examples, I use you as an example. So I'm already following Dan, but if I was not following him and I read this article, there would be a button here that says follow, which means now Dan is getting more people from reading his article. And it might only be a handful of people per article, but isn't it cool to get people you never would have known based on your expertise? All right, so that was the clean internet one. I'm going to move on to, this is another one of Dan's, like you saw in his last, his bio down there is that he's a business and real estate attorney. This we did for his law office. So because he focuses on a lot on real estate as well, he does business and real estate, but because he focuses on real estate, we write a lot of real estate articles for him, just like we write business articles for him. Home building projections for 2020, a good year to buy, question mark, right? And so as you continue going on, again, you see links, you see headers, all this stuff looks very familiar, right? It's consistency. And as you can see here too, I want to point out, Dan, it shows that he has 5 articles. So not only can you follow him, you could actually click on his name to see his profile, or you could click on the 5 articles and see all the articles that he's written. Now, these are going to be a mix of his clean internet articles and his law office articles because he's hired us for both companies. So these are a mix of the articles that we have written for him. And then if we move on to, I have one more LinkedIn one I want to show you, and then I'll take questions. My toolbar keeps getting in my way. Okay. See if I could do it without pulling up the toolbar. All right. So the next one is Fuse Marketing and Media, which this is the one that we are marketing in 2020. So this is and now you'll notice that the picture on this one is a little different. So you could have the picture spread all the way out across the screen, or you could make it a more of a square image like what you're seeing now. And so this is 10 ways social media can help your business grow. This is on LinkedIn, was posted by myself, but then shared through our company page, right? And again, it's going to look very similar. You've got links, you've got steps right here. So mine was 10 ways, right? 1, 2, you keep going down, you get all 10 ways here. And then at the end, there is a nice call to action, right? So if you like a free strategy session, and it goes into that, gives my personal cell phone number right here. And we're happy to look at your current online presence and let you know, complimentary, how you can make it more effective for your business. So if you're one of those people and you're just thinking, I don't know if I'm doing things right, I don't know if my stuff is making me look good or bad, let me know. And we do that for free, where we will look over your whole online presence, tell you what you're doing right, what you could be improving on. And then if you're interested, we also tell you how we can help you do those things, or how you can do them yourself even without our help. All right, so before I move on to the next part, does anyone have questions yet on that? Okay, I give you guys until I take a full drink and then I move on. All right, so let's see. So I showed you those 2. Those are the only 2 options I'm going to show you with the blogging examples, because of course, again, I don't blog on Blogger or WordPress.com, because you shouldn't if you have these other options. All right. So I just showed you the examples. Let me make sure I did all the ones I wanted to show you. We did Fuse Business Training, CCSK Law, Forage Seeds, Clean Internet, Grand Quest Law, and Fuse Marketing and Media. If any of those companies looked interesting to you, you can feel free to write them down or take a picture of what's on the screen, because they're all awesome companies. Every single company that is on this screen right now is a faith-based business, and they show that in everything that they do. So many of the writings we do, we're able to include faith in it. We're able to include scripture if we want. And so it's just really cool that we're working with a lot of faith-based companies. God has blessed us very much. All right, so the next question, how long should a blog be? That is a fantastic question. Who asked that question? All right, so the length of each blog post should be between 500 and 1,000 words. Well, Barbara, how long is that actually? Like, put it into something I can visualize. Okay, so it's about 3 to 4 paragraphs. So when we talked about email marketing, we talked about it being about 1 to 2 paragraphs. Blogging is about 3 to 4 paragraphs. Now, here's the cool thing, you guys. When you write a blog, then you can write an email that gives 1 paragraph or so about what you were talking about in your blog. And then you just link your blog and say, check out my blog post here. And you take them to your blog. So these things connect with each other. Now, blogs need to be value heavy. You need to write blogs to give value, educate people, inform people, inspire people, encourage people, give value. That's the #1 focus of blogging, is giving value for free. And don't be salesy. Again, at the end, you could write your author bio, or you can include a quick call to action, but do not make your content salesy. Give value. Any questions on the length of a blog or what should be in a blog? All right, there was my drink, moving forward. All right, how often should I blog? Another fantastic question. There is no right or wrong answer on this because it is different for everybody and every business. So let me just talk about the different time commitments to blogging. At the very least, you should blog once a month. Many people, it will take you an hour or 2 to write a blog, 4 paragraphs, right? And the longest part of that is probably coming up with your topic, right? What do I write about? I have another training that's not included in this 30-day thing, but I have a training that I've done for my Fuse Business training where I talk about how to find topics to blog about. We also do that in our consultations as well. Recommended time commitment is once a week. So when we blog for clients, we're blogging for them once a week. And that's typically what people like and expect, to where they're getting new content regularly, but not so regularly that it's like annoying. And so there are some people who blog once a day, but I personally think that's a bit annoying, and there's no way I'm going to read a blog every day by somebody. But again, it's up to you how often you want to blog. These are not the only 3 options. These are just the 3 options I decided to put up here. You could do twice a week if you want, twice a month if you want. There's lots of different ways that you can blog and how much you should blog. But I would say at the very least, my expert recommendation would be once a month at the very least. Any questions on time commitment to blogging? All right. I didn't take a drink that time. Did you guys notice? All right, what is guest blogging? You guys, guest blogging is a way to give your people content that you don't actually know as the expert, or maybe even some of your collaborators. Tim, you mentioned that you've got people who support you. Guest blogging would be awesome for that. So let's talk about how guest blogging can help you, your viewers, and your community. So supporting one another through guest blogging. An example could be that you could guest blog on my website. So for instance, you could write a blog about what you're an expert in, and I could share it for you on my website, which will give you exposure to my followers. Okay, pretty fantastic, right? On the other side, I can guest blog on your website, which will give me access to your followers. So as you can see, it gives your followers a new topic that maybe you wouldn't have covered otherwise, because that's not where you excel in. It also gives somebody else that supports you an option to be supported by you. And it gives you that extra exposure, because likely if I'm blogging on your website, I'm going to promote that I blogged on your website, right? So not only does it give me access to your followers by doing that, but it also gives you access to my followers, because we're both promoting it now. So it makes the audience of the viewers larger. And then the other thing is, you guys can guest blog on each other's websites, right? So you might say, Tim, I support Rick, and Rick's going to write a blog on my website, and then I'm going to write a blog on his website, and vice versa. And you guys, let me tell you a really cool way that you can get more content out of helping each other than just a blog. You guys can do a Zoom meeting where you interview each other. You turn it into a blog interview, and you both post the video on your YouTube channel or your Facebook page. You both post it on the blog. One of you writes it on the blog as an interview style, and the other one writes it as a summary, right? And then you also could do that as a podcast. At the same time that you're doing the Zoom meeting, you could have your phone set up and recording it as a podcast. How cool is that to have so many different pieces of content and touching people in different ways all at once?
Cool.
All right, any questions on guest blogging or anything that I've covered? This is the questions area.
Yeah, Barbara, what you just mentioned, say it again, but say it slower. So what you're saying is you can do a Zoom meeting with two people and you turn it into a blog interview, and then you talked about all the different platforms in which you can market it. So say that again, the platforms.
Right, so for instance, I could be on an interview with you, Dave, right? You and I can be Zooming, and it will show both of our pictures, and we can put that both on our YouTube channel. Both of us can put that on our YouTube channel and promote it. Now, here's the thing. YouTube, when you put on your YouTube channels, the same video on two channels, you want to use different titles and different descriptions, okay? That way it doesn't get flagged as copycat content. Okay, because you both have the right to post it because you're both in the video. But if you use the same title and same description, it's going to get flagged and it's going to be pulled down on both of your sites.
So you use a different title and I use a different title for the same interview. Okay.
Exactly. So yours might say, I mean, and you can make it as straightforward as you want, or you can make it as like attention grabbing as you want. Maybe one of us makes it like just a straightforward interview between Dave and Barbara, and the other one makes it like, I can't believe she said that. Right, or something like that. And then you could have a similar description, but don't make it word for word the same. Okay.
Okay.
So then we do that interview. We put it on our blog page or our YouTube page. We both share it on our social media outlets, the video, right? And then while we're recording the Zoom, we had our cell phone opened up to audio. Or even if you forget to have your cell phone opened up at it, like you could do Blog Talk Radio or any of the iTunes, different like places where you can do podcasts on, and you could be recording the podcast on that platform with the phone just sitting next to you because all you need is the audio, right? But if you forget to have the phone recording at that time, you can always convert your video into an MP3 audio free on a lot of sites. Okay, and so then you turn that into a podcast, because there are some people who just want to hear what you have to say without having to look at you because they might be driving, right? Or they might be in the shower listening, and so the visual isn't important, right? They're just trying to hear something while they're doing something else. And then the next option is you transcribe that and turn it into a blog post or an email or a combination of both.
So what you're doing is just by that one Zoom, which we're all starting to Zoom and we're doing this interview, you have 5 different lines of marketing.
Exactly.
Wow, all instantaneously.
Yes, fantastic.
Pretty powerful.
Yes, that's one of the things I'm a big advocate on is making sure to repurpose your content. All right, I'm going to open my Zoom window back up so you guys can see me again.
Barbara, can I ask a question?
Yes.
Okay, I'm wondering, can you take my thought process, because I do these Facebook Live videos all the time, can I take that content and put it into my blog on my website?
Yes, yes, you sure can.
And can I do that into LinkedIn too? So then I do one video and put it in both?
So yes and no, because again, you don't want it to be the exact same content. Otherwise, it's going to be flagged as that you've copied it from somebody else, even though it's your own content. So you need it to somehow be a little different. Even if you need to change at least 10% of it for it not to be flagged that way.
Like do a different video?
Yeah, that could be fine. Yep.
Like do the same content, just do it a different way?
Well, there are times when so like for instance, all my classes that I've done, so from 2013 to 2018, I'm sorry, I keep hitting the table. From 2013 to 2018, I did in-person live training classes, many of them. I did hundreds of live training classes in that 5 years. I video recorded most of them. So I am now, even though we're not focused on Fuse Business Training, one of the things we're doing in the background of it is we're transcribing all of those videos. We are having my blog blog writer take the transcriptions and write different blogs out of them and different emails out of them, so that when we relaunch these towards the end of this year, I believe that we're aiming for the end of fall, beginning of winter, we are going to have a whole bunch of content already prepared.
Okay.
Yeah. So what he's doing is he's having, like, with one blog or with one video, because my training classes were 90 minutes each, the content of it was only 30 minutes because it was all hands-on. So in that 30 minutes, he's able to take that and turn it into 3 different blog posts. Does that make sense? So taking what you already have, and sometimes you could take one video, like Marie's video that she made the other day, that could be 2 different blog posts. She talked about games, she talked about food, right? 2 separate blog posts from one video.
Okay.
All right, so I see there's a few things in the chat, so I want to go through those real fast. Rick, I write my blog every Sunday and block out 1 hour in my schedule, just like an appointment. Fantastic, Rick. And Rick's been blogging for a long time. If you're not on his blog, if you guys aren't on each other's blogging list, make sure you get on them. Most of the time, the easiest way to do it is just go to their website and subscribe to the RSS feed. But otherwise, if you just follow these people on social media, then you'll get updates when they share their blog on social media, which I hope everyone does. But like Rick is saying, it doesn't take too much time to write it, edit it, and you can schedule it, you guys. So what I tell a lot of people, if they want to blog on their own, is sit down one day and take like 4 or 5 hours and write as much content as you can, you know, as many posts as you can, and then schedule them. And do that every couple of months. You don't have to do this as a daily thing if you don't want to. Let's see. So I just go to my website to the blog tab and start typing. Yes. So Phyllis, there is a video I can share with you. All the clients get get these videos of the training. And so I think I may have sent it to you already, but I could send it to you again about how to write a blog post, because you can technically write your own on your WordPress site that we built for you. How do I determine my topic? Debbie asked. So there's a lot of ways to determine your topic. I can't really go into all of them right now because I don't want to use all of you guys' time, but the best way to do it is to see what people are asking. Google. You know how when you start Googling something, it automatically gives you some suggestions of what other people are Googling. So you can use those, or you could go to Google Trends, which is just trends.google.com, and it will show you what's trending. There are a few other websites, I can't remember them right offhand, but that you could see what people are looking for. And if you put in your keyword, like social media is one that I would use because that's what I do, it would tell me all the questions people are asking about social media, right? And so those are some easy ways to find topics. Another easy way is to just ask your people, by either just putting a post out there that says, hey, I'm thinking about writing a blog. What do you think I should cover? What would you like to read about? Or you could write a poll of, like, maybe you have 5 topics you'd like to write about, but you want to see if people would be interested. So you put out a Facebook poll that says, I'm working on my blog. These are some topics I'm working on. Which ones are you interested in? See what people click. So those are some of the easiest ways. All right, and then we have Phyllis, be sure to ask Barbara later. I'm with you, so I'm waiting on her answer. Everyone tells me I need a blog, not sure how or where to start. Oh, that was fantastic, because I think I just shared all that, right? Did that answer you guys' question? Not sure where or how to start? Okay, perfect. So I see Tim was getting a lot of activity after he shared more than his 5 seconds. All right, so I wrote a note down here that I need to show you guys how to put a link into a blog. So let me do that real fast. So I will log into mine. Let's see. Use business training. And Phyllis, this is going to be similar to yours too, actually. So if you're watching, you just go to your Fuse Business, your website, and then /WP-admin, and it's going to pull up your login page.
Coffee.
Okay. All right, so then once you get logged in here, let's see. What? Yes, please. Thank you. You're very sweet. How sweet is my Haley? She came to refill my teacup. All All right, so once you're in here, your blogs are under posts. There's a difference between posts and pages. A lot of people confuse those. Make sure that you're putting your blogs under your posts. You go to posts and then add new. Thank you. I love it.
No, no. Oh, no.
It is going slow, which means the kids have finally woke up and started playing on their electronics. That must be the teenagers then, huh? One of my teenagers, I walked in her room the other day, she had her computer, her Xbox, 2 phones, all hooked up to talking to people. It was like a group conversation on 4 different devices. It was so weird. All right, let's see. Come on, computer. Now I have just a few minutes left and it's going super slow.
One was broken.
It would help for her to know how to go into Zoom and create a room there.
Yeah, except you know what the kids say about all the useful tools we use is that that's for old people. My kids, when they told me I was old because I used Facebook, I was like, okay, well, it's cool to be old. Because they don't use Facebook anymore, you know. In fact, it's gross to them to use Facebook.
I never even used it before.
Okay, so apparently this is going super slow. I might just need to do a separate training and then post that in the group because I don't want to keep you guys waiting. How about any questions while this loads? Yeah, Felicia's on a lot of devices. Ask her to shut some of hers down, please. Thank you. Haley's my greatest helper.
Barbara, I have a question.
Yes.
You said that you have 4 people on your team. Is Mark Buckner still blogging, working
Yes.
with you?
Mark is our main blog writer. He is also our main social media content creator. So Mark does both blogs and social media. He does a lot of our email marketing as well. He and I share the email marketing stuff, but he does probably a good majority of it.
Okay, great. Thank you.
And so what we do, and that's a great question, Dave, because we have 2 different ways that we do blogs and emails and social media with our clients, is that we give them the option to give us topics, or we come up with topics and run them by our clients. So we have some clients who are like, I'll give you 4 topics a month and you write 4 articles a month for me. And then we have other clients that are like, I really don't know what to write about. Can you give me a list to choose from? So we write like 20 things on a list and then they choose which topics they like. And then that's how we go about it. So.
Excellent.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, I'm sorry. This is running super slow, you guys. Any other questions? Oh, well, that's not correct. Oh, here we go. Okay, so now when you write a new blog post, you'll put your title up here, you'll put your content down here, and then if you want to link it, you guys, it's very similar to like what you do in your email or something like that. You highlight the part you want to link. Let's say I just want to link a part of it, like this one word. And then I go to the
You're
link.
not sharing your screen.
The link. Wait, what? You don't see my screen?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm just seeing you, Barbara. I don't see your screen probably for the last 3 to 5 minutes, right?
Oh.
Probably, yeah.
I wonder if I lost internet or something. All right, let me bring it back up. Thank you, whoever mentioned that. Okay, tell me when you see it.
Well, I see your WordPress here.
Perfect. Okay, so you write a new, well, I showed you go to post, add new. Once you get here, you add new, and then you put your words, whatever your content is. And if you want to link like one word, for instance, you go to this right here. It's like a pay-per-click. And then you put in whatever your link is that you want. Now, most websites and most things nowadays make it automatic to where it opens in a new link. But I always like to just check to make sure. So if you click on that, whoops, let me go back there. If you click on the little settings, it will give you the box to click open a new link. Because if this is a link that's not your link, you don't want them leaving your website to go to another website. So if you hit open a new link, it will open a new tab for them. Or I'm sorry, open link, a new tab. It will open a new tab so that when they're done reading the article that they clicked on and they X out of it, guess what? Boom, your website's still up there. So you didn't take them away from your site more than just temporarily. So make sure you always click open link in new tab. Now you could also link to some of your other stuff. So there's times when we'll link to web pages on our website or other blogs that we've written and events, right? So maybe I link to an event that we're doing. So my blog post is talking about the event, and then it might say sign up here, and then it gives the event link. So it will take them to the event page. These are other blog posts, so I could link to other blog posts here. So if you see a date over here, that means it's a blog post. And if it's a page, it will say the word page over here on the right.
So technically what you're doing is you're going to that, you're highlighting it, clicking on it, going to the link, and that opens where you just were.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep. All right. There's a question in the chat. Where's the chat? My chat's not coming up. I'm not seeing the chat for some reason. Is there a question in the chat, you guys? Okay, so the same way that I did this here, that's how you would do it if you blogged on LinkedIn, if you blogged on Blogger, WordPress, any of that. You should be able to do all this the same way. All right, so I'll stop screen share. Oh, topic ideas. Oh, Rick shared some topic ideas.
Second bit of news I got this from a very trusted friend of mine. He's a doctor, and it's good.
Oh, okay. So I write down things in my notes that I hear or see people talking about during the week, and then I decide which one of those I think might be interesting to write about. Just an idea to get your own topic, life things that are happening in real time. That's a great tip, Rick. Thank you for sharing that. So again, Rick's been blogging for a super long time. I've known Rick for many years, and Rick's blogs have always been good. And so, in fact, if everybody, on your homework assignments, when you guys read other people's blogs, if there's an option to subscribe to them, please make sure that you do, okay? Support and encourage each other. And if you think of other ideas that you could share with people, like Rick's just shared some topic ideas, if you guys come up with something of an idea that you're like, this could help the group, please share that in the homework section, because you may not be you're probably not the only person struggling with something. If you're like, hey, I was struggling with this, but then I figured it out by doing this, right? Share things like that and help each other. So let me give you guys your homework real fast. Each of you are going to write and publish one blog post on any platform you want, your website, LinkedIn, Blogger, WordPress, or any other one that you have the option of. Write one blog post. Remember, it's about 3 or 4 paragraphs. And then I want you to share the link to that article in our group in Unit 6, where the homework section is. Put it in as a comment. And then as people are commenting their links, I want you to click on people's links, read their articles. Haley, can you take that from him? Read their articles and comment and support them. Now, it is best to comment on the blog themselves, not inside of the group when you're commenting on someone's blog, because it will help them rank higher if you comment on their blog page. Not all blog pages have the option to comment, but if it does, make sure you do. If it doesn't have the option, it's the host has turned that off, which is fine. But I recommend leaving it on if you can. So if somebody writes a blog post, make sure that you comment on it on their website or their LinkedIn page, wherever they share it. Make a comment and then share it yourself if it's something you want your audience to know. Now, you don't have to go share every single blog post, but if you could at least pick 1 or 2 that you could share with your people, that would be a really awesome way to support and encourage each other. Now, I'm going to tell you that if this is your first time writing a blog post, it might suck. And that's okay. All right. I still want you to write it. I still want you to post it. I still want you to share it. Just like the video. You might hate it, but you can't get better unless you start somewhere. Right. And if you write it and keep it to yourself, you can't get feedback on how it can be better. Many of the people in this group are Toastmasters. And so if you feel like giving someone feedback, I'd recommend doing that in a private message. Of course, ask for permission first. Right. We do this with our kids, with everybody that if we're going to give feedback to someone, Isaac and I do it to ourselves, to each other too. We ask permission. Would it be okay if I give you some feedback on what you did or what you wrote or whatever? Once they say yes, write in a private message because they may or may not want everyone to see all that information, but they can share it themselves if it's helpful to them. So write in a private message. I really liked how you did this, this, and that. I'm a little confused by this, or I think it could have been better if you did this, right? So give useful feedback. And when you give feedback, make sure you're giving good feedback along with the things that can be improved upon. Any questions on the homework? No? All right, so let me just give you.
Who uses,
What?
no, I had a question as far as, is there any type of software for grammar issues, Grammarly, or does anyone use?
If you're using Google Chrome, excuse me, if you're using Google Chrome, you can install Grammarly. So it's the word grammar and then LY at the end, and it will tell you if your grammar is off. But even if you don't utilize that, don't not post because you don't know if your grammar is right. It's better to post than not post. Of course, if your grammar is all jacked up and it's you don't have very good grammar at all, like if you're a 1 out of 10, then maybe just hire somebody to proofread it for you. But if it's a little messed up, that's okay, because just like in our videos, we're all human. We all mess up. Make it the best you can, but don't expect it to be perfect before you put it out there. Okay?
So content is the key, content.
Exactly. Give good content.
Got it, okay, all right.
Any more questions on homework or what we've covered before we close out of here? Let me give you one last reminder then on our contest. You have until Monday at 1. There have been people, I think we got 12 new members just overnight. So people were inviting people. Numbers have increased. Right now, Kim's in the lead. I will tell you guys that Kim is super competitive. So to beat her, you are going to have to work hard. And remember that the prize for this is like a $1,500 prize. You want this prize. So invite people, but only invite people that you truly believe will benefit from this, because you only get credit if they do join. And don't use the invite button. Make sure that you're actually sending them the direct link and telling them why you think it's a good fit for them, because we don't want to spam people. Can you create content in Word, then copy and paste when you are satisfied? Yes, Phyllis, great question. You can, and in fact, that's where I tell most people to, if you're gonna write 10 blog posts at a time and then schedule them, write them in Word or in Google Docs, and that way you have them all at once. You write them all first, and then you schedule them all next. Okay, great question. All right, guys, if no one else has questions, we'll go ahead and get off here. And do your homework, invite people, and we are meeting again at 2. I promised you guys 30 days in a row, so even though I typically don't work on Sundays, we are going to work tomorrow for 1 hour, and I'll be here if you'll be here. If you can't make it, I understand. You can catch up on the replay. Have a great day, everybody.
Thanks, Barbara.
And we let you know that we did our
Bye,
homework,
guys.
right?
Yes.
Okay, because I did complete it right when the meeting started.
Perfect. Thank you.
All righty, bye-bye.
Bye.